Hello ladies and gentlemen, Mike here at Game From Scratch. We have a very cool new resource for game developers, and that is a new website called The Base Mesh. Now, even as it stands right now, it is already immediately very useful because this contains 250 plus base meshes all under the CC0 license. If you do not know already, CC0 license allows you to do pretty much what you want with it. You can use them commercially, you can make derived works, etc. Very cool. It's basically the same asset library as like Kenny's assets, for example. On top of that, 250 plus is quite nice. The thing about a base mesh is it's designed to be a starting point. So you want to have nice clean lines. You can bring this into a texturing program such as Mudbox, ZBrush, 3D Coat, Blender, whatever, and add additional detail to these models. They're also pretty low polygon, so you could go ahead and use them in whatever kind of game you wish, basically out of the box. So we're going to go ahead on over, take a look at what the library itself has. So again, we're already at 250 plus items. They're organized into categories. So if you just need a weapon, come in here, check out the weapons category. You got a decent collection of weapons right here. So let's go ahead. We'll grab the short sword. We're going to demonstrate that one in just a second. And then we're going to go over, we'll take a look at the all section, and I'm going to showcase another neat thing about this collection. First off, you can search it. So we say we wanted to do a skateboard. Well, what we've got here is the skateboard deck, but we also have a fully rigged skateboard plus the components. So there's a lot of components in this library. So if you wanted to, make things out of other building blocks, the base mesh actually has a decent number of building blocks here as well. So you can build a deck and a truck and wheels and put them all together, create your own custom skateboards, or you can get something fully assembled. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll grab the skateboard deck as well. And now we're going to head on over to my downloads folder. So you see we've got the short sword and the skateboard here. And we're going to extract everything out here. So what you're going to find is there is OBJ, which is wavefront object format. This is a very universal, ubiquitous format. And then we've also got FBX, which is probably the second most ubiquitous format out there as well. Now, interestingly enough, there are these PNG renders of them. I'm not really sure why, but they're in there as well. So we've got these two to work with in both file formats. Now let's fire up Blender and take a look at them. We'll look at one of each file format. Now, this is a Blender video. That means I need to sacrifice at least one default cube. So press F for the cube. Goodbye, sir. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do an import here. File, import. I'll start with the FBX, and we'll bring in the short sword as the FBX. All right, so there we go. Short sword is now in. I'm going to do a grab Y, and we'll move that guy slightly. And now let's do a file, import, OBJ, and we'll bring the skateboard in as OBJ. Really doesn't make a difference. They're basically identical. And then grab Y, and we'll go in the opposite direction. And let's go take a look at our meshes. So they're both very clean meshes, which is definitely a nice thing. So let's go here-ish. All right, we're good to go. So we've got the sword first off. Let's go take a look at what its mesh looks like. Oops. Ooh. Very clean for the most part. And now let's go back into object mode. Let's go take a look at our skateboard. And again, nice, clean polygonal meshes. The cool thing here is since they're clean lines, that means you can start basically sculpting on them. You can start doing subdivisions on them. They should work out nice and smoothly in that regard. So that's the key thing when you're working with a base mesh is you want to have nice quad flow, good lines, good edges, and that kind of thing. And from what I've seen of the meshes I've pulled down, they are both quite nice in that regard. Now, where it gets very nice, though, so with my skateboard selected here, I want to showcase one aspect here. Nothing here is textured. These are base meshes, but they are all UV unwrapped. So there is the UV mapping, and I hate unwrapping. So I love to see that all of these meshes are UV unwrapped. So if you want to come in and start, if you want to throw them into Substance Designer, or you want to start just basically doing texturing directly on the surfaces, or if you got texture maps ready to go, these are all UV unwrapped and ready to go. And that seems to be the case with all of these meshes. So let's go here, take a look at the sword, and again, nice, clean, solid, ready to use, game ready UV unwrapping. And that in my opinion is huge. Really, you just got to throw a set of textures on here and you are good to go. Or otherwise, you could basically throw a subdivision surface modifier on there. Since the meshes are clean line, again, they should subdivide smoothly. So if you want to have higher polygon counts, you can do so. So if you want to go ahead and check out the base mesh, it is available at thebasemesh.com. It is entirely donation based. So check out his Patreon or Ko-Fi tipping if you want to check him out. You can learn a little bit more about the author at the About page. As a dog person, I do find this part of it a little disappointing. But other than that, it's a really cool project. I hope this works out. If you do like it, he also does have a Discord. The other really cool thing with this one is in terms of, is this going to grow? According to the FAQ, he's going to be looking at 20 to 30 per week. Now, if he keeps that pace up, this is going to be a very solid collection of base meshes very soon. Again, you can use them commercially. The CC0 license is quite liberal in what it grants you to do. And this part is probably the coolest, is you can actually request things for him to create, which again, I very much like. So this is a solid project to check out, thebasemesh.com. The only thing I find a little shocking again is there's no humans in here. And generally when people talk about a base mesh, they're almost always talking about their base human mesh. So they start with a male or a female body type and then sculpt out characters from there. And there's no humans in this collection yet. But there is a decent number of things in here. And another nice thing is you got a lot of these like components, like chain links and clips and tags and, you know, these pieces that you can kind of build together. So if you're kit bashing more advanced models, you can definitely start throwing these things together. And as it grows, it's going to become more and more useful. And then the cool thing, again, with this collection is everything you see here is, first off, nice, clean polygonal models, but second, everything is UV unwrapped. And again, I hate UV unwrapping. You know, when you're talking relatively simple models, it's not that much work. I still hate doing it. So you've got a nice collection of meshes to start with. If you're just kit bashing stuff, this could be useful to you. If you're doing some sculpting, could definitely be useful to you. And again, it'll be interesting to see how much this collection ultimately does grow over time. If it does grow 20 to 30 per week and they stay kind of a consistent, ready to sculpt quality, definitely a useful resource. And the nice thing is, again, since nothing is textured and everything is designed to be, you know, worked upon, you're not going to get that samey asset flip feel you would from a lot of free models. So thebasemesh.com, definitely worth checking out. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.